These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Monday, June 26th. It said swipe to unlock on my phone, so I fumbled the bag on the intro, but we're gonna leave it in because
Swipe
we've
to
been.
unlock.
I
Doesn't
do
your
that. Well,
computer have the date in the bottom right?
it doesn't have the day though, and you'd think that would be a gimme, but you know what I do for a job? I sit in my house all day and I write articles.
Yes.
I lose track of days. It's tough. It's not an excuse. It's a reason.
Wait till the
'Cause
people that told you that you need to eat better come to the comments and hear that.
This is true. They're gonna. I mean, they're just gonna call me an insult, which is sure.
They're literally gonna beat the shit out of you. Can you show them what you showed me about that you've been golfing?
Oh yeah, I've been golfing a lot lately, and so like my skin is just sort of peeling from the tan / sunburn.
And
I'm getting.
everybody clicks off.
You're right.
Yeah.
We are now a minute into the show and we haven't started talking about Celtics. The viewer retention is terrible, but some Celtics news. The Celtics have started to fill out their Summer League roster. We have a bunch of reports from Adam Himmelsbach listing some. We have reports coming in from all over the Twitter sphere, and Hoops Hype is kind enough to tally it all up and put it in one place for us to take a look at. And so we're going to do just that. Celtics Summer League. This is the news of the summer. This is what you get. As Sam said in the Victor Wembanyama short, we don't have much going on in July. And we're almost
have
in
nothing
July.
going on. Dude. It's
So-
not even July, and it's sad.
It is Celtics Summer League time. We're talking Summer League team. And I'm going to share a screen for the YouTube people just so you can see the list and we can go over the stats a little bit,
All right.
give you a nice little visual. If you're listening on an audio platform, we will read the stats and stuff just for the YouTube people who there have been a lot of you. Thank you very much. Subscribe. We appreciate you. We're going to share the roster here. So this is what the Celtics Summer League roster is looking like. Alexander Balcherowski, Kamar Baldwin, Justin Bean, Justin Champagny, JD Davison, Eugene German, Sam Grissel, Reggie Kissenlaw, Michael Mulder, Jay Scrubb, Vincent Valerio-Bodon, Jordan Walsh, Sam. Initial no, I'm just kidding. Sam, what do you think about all those names?
The really tall Polish kid, not athletic. Jay Scrubb hates passing. Champagny, lot of hair. JD Davison is your star.
Yes, agree. And he's got two guys he played in
Jordan
Maine
Walsh.
With. Yep, and he's got two guys he played in Maine with in Kamar Baldwin and Reggie Kissenlaw.
Yeah. How you like that? You thought I wouldn't have anything for you. I just gave you great analysis.
There you go. But let's take a look at the real GM
They need to get
pages.
a fat guy.
Well, maybe they do. You never know. Let's take a look at the real GM pages and see if they have any fat guys. So, first we'll look at Olek Balcherowski. It's Alexander Balcherowski, but he goes by Olek. He is Polish. Share this tab. This is his real GM.
This
he
is
played
not
for
good on the YouTube.
Is it? Oh, the yellow. Yeah,
It's tough to read. At least for me, it is.
I apologize. Maybe full screen will help. We record in partial screen. I think it's clear if you go full, but
Let's go full screen.
He played this past
It
season
sure
with
is.
I told you, with Gran Canaria in the Spanish League, I believe it is. Yeah,
More
the
on him
Spanish League.
tomorrow.
Yes, we'll have a video reaction to his highlights tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, as you're seeing this tomorrow. He averaged 16 minutes, I believe, 9 points, 3.5 rebounds, and less than 1 assist a game. He shot well from the field. Spoiler alert: we reacted to his highlights. He's very efficient, good positioning. It just seems like the typical. We're going to bring a center from overseas guy to play in Summer League. He's 22 years old, so he is young. He turns 23 at the beginning of next season. He was an entry in the 2022 NBA draft. Did not go drafted, and so he went to play overseas.
So he tried a couple times to get drafted, and he missed all three.
Correct.
Welcome to the Summer League, fans.
This year, 3 times actually. Early entry in 2019.
That's what
early
I mean.
entry in 2021. How was he eligible in 2019?
He is 22.
I guess he would have been.
He would have been 19.
Yeah. Okay.
18,
Looking next one. Let's take a look at Kamar Baldwin here. Played for the Maine Celtics this past year. He's 25 years old. He went to Butler. Shout out Brad Stevens. Maybe his guy right there. 6'1". Undrafted in the 2020 NBA draft. He's been playing in the G League ever since. In his 4 seasons at Butler, he improved every season. Senior year, 16 points. Pretty efficient shooting from the field. in his junior. I lied. Not efficient shooting his senior year. Efficient shooting his junior year is what I was looking at. Fine, 4.5 rebounds, 3.2 assists. In the G League, let's see how he's been playing. Played for the Maine Celtics this past season. In 31 games, he averaged 15 points. Actually, more efficient.
Not bad
shooting.
splits, yeah.
Better.
Good assist
47% from the
numbers.
field, 36.7% from 3, and almost 5 attempts a game. 6 assists, 5 rebounds at 6'1" is impressive too. Getting 34 minutes, I have to assume that's some of the most on the team.
I wonder if these guys
sure.
have to have like other jobs.
I'm
I'm not even like being like a dick. I'm genuinely curious. Like if
Maybe.
we had any of them on the show, I would ask them if they had to have another job.
I wonder how much they get paid. Like, let me look at
Because
NBA
if you
G
remember
League
Andre
salaries.
Ingram, the guy that came on the Lakers and played on a 10-day
Yeah.
at the end of 2019
Okay, so
and scored 20 points a couple times, he was a math tutor.
yeah. For the 22-23 season, every G League player will make a minimum salary of $40,500 for 50 regular season games.
That is not a lot of money.
But that's for 5 to 6 months. So the other half of the year, they can do whatever they want and earn more money. So that's basically like $40,500 for half the year, which it's a little awkward because for that half a year, you're getting paid to fully do one thing.
They're on the
other half
teacher
of the year, you
salary.
fully do something else.
Summer's off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, teachers, we respect the all of you. Thank you for your service.
I was going to be a teacher. My one of my good friends.
I've thought about it. I don't have the patience. Imagine me trying to like teach a bunch of little kids.
Probably wouldn't be great.
No.
Probably wouldn't be great. But decent splits for Kamar Baldwin in the G League this past year. He's not going to I don't think he'll have a real chance to show off his stuff as much with JD Davison leading the way. But sure, like maybe it's cool. Like probably not going to get too many minutes for the G League team, but I digress. Justin Bean just looks like a Celtics bench player.
He fit the hey, they picked this guy off the street, guys.
He's a Sam Hauser clone. For those listening on audio platforms, he is 6'7", 26 years old. Is he actually a Sam Hauser clone? Sam Hauser's around 26. He's around 6'7". He was an early entrant in the 2022 NBA draft, undrafted. Sam, I'm gonna ask you right now: is this guy a 3-point shooter?
Pope Catholic.
Let's take a look at his G League stats. He spent this past season with the Memphis Hustle, I believe. Not a 3-point shooter. He only attempted 3 threes a game on 37% splits. He's a decent rebounder, 7 a night, 1.2 assists. Pretty efficient otherwise.
I don't know why I would have thought he was a shooter. Just had a feeling.
I mean, looking at his stats, I wonder what this guy's niche is, right? Because, like, I mean, he's relatively efficient, doesn't take
Apparently
attention.
nothing.
Is he a good defender, right? Like, he's a solid rebounder, sure, but like, I don't know. Interesting. I will say I am significantly more intrigued to watch him play now that I know he's not a like high volume.
His name is Bean.
He's got to play for the Celtics, right? Bean time. Like, it has to be Bean.
Oh, that's terrible. I didn't even think of that.
I know.
No,
I saw it on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter. But we shall see. I recognize this name. I don't know why.
He's a big agent. He was Hayward's agent. Back in the day when he signed with the Celtics. Probably still is.
He's got a type. All right. Next up, we have probably who is going to be one of the stars of the show, Justin Champagnie. On a standard contract with the Celtics, still only 21 years old. That was surprising to me. I thought he'd be 23, 24. He is 6'6". Again, he's on a standard deal with the Celtics. They signed him this past season to fill a roster spot. 2021 NBA draft, went to Pittsburgh. You know the deal about him. Some weird charts. Let's check his G League games just because we'll see how he did. He played for the Sioux Falls Skyforce. So, I mean, if he played for the Heat G League team, he probably did all right.
Well, no. If you did not make it through Miami's system, we actually should be a little bit concerned. Not that we haven't seen Champagnie already play for the Celtics, but I mean, if the Heat don't have faith in you, I don't know what to tell you.
Sure.
If Pat Riley and the boys aren't getting that dog out of people, then they don't have it.
This is true. I will say, I do think he joined an NBA team. Like, I think he just got picked up from their G League team when they didn't have a chance to bring him up. So maybe we give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt. This is true. Was he on the Spurs first, or is that his brother? Maybe his brother's in the Spurs.
For
Raptors. He was on the Raptors. Yes, you're right. Excuse me. But yeah, 23 games with the Sioux Falls Skyforce. Shot 52% from the field, 30% from 3. Not very good. 5 attempts a game there. 8 rebounds, solid rebounder, 1 assist. Probably just going to be a hustle guy. I mean, if he can get a shot down, maybe there's some intrigue there, but he's just never really been a consistent 3-point shooter throughout his career. Even in college, I don't think he was a very good 3-point shooter in his time at Pittsburgh. Yeah, he only shot 31% from three. So never been his niche. Great rebounder at Pittsburgh, though. That's kind of crazy. 11 rebounds at 6'6" is nuts. So big time boards guy. Maybe he can play that role. The real star of the show, though, is going to be this man right here, J.D. Davison, still 20 years old. Obviously, the Celtics going to be second-year guy heading into next year. He was their second-round pick in 2022. Agent is Mike Miller, under a two-way contract with the Celtics still, and he played really well in the G League this past season for the Maine Celtics. He averaged 12.5 points, 8.7 assists, 4.2 rebounds, 50% from the field, only 31.7% from three, but only took 2.4 a game. I mean, that's Sam's dream if the point guard's only taking 2 threes a game, right?
I would like it if you can't shoot threes and you don't shoot them.
That's true. And
for everyone, just kind of shot less threes.
Doesn't take many. Early prediction: how many assists does J.D. Davison average in the summer league?
Probably about this. I would imagine the competition level in the summer league is just about the same as the G League.
Okay,
maybe a little bit better. I'd say it's not crazy to expect someone like Davison to be able to put up 9 assists a game.
I think he averaged
the turnovers is the real thing to look at, because even with the 8.7 assists, the turnovers are still kind of high. They're 2.8. To put that in perspective, that's what Jaylen Brown averaged this year, and you said send him to the abyss. So
sure.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
But in fairness to Brown, he's not dishing out 9 assists a game and having the ball that much.
You want to see an indicator if the the Maine Celtics win or lose? Wins, J.D. Davison, 2 turnovers. Losses, J.D. Davison, 4 turnovers.
Yep.
J.D. Davison takes care of the ball. The Maine Celtics win. If they don't, he doesn't. Last summer league, I want to see what J.D. Davison averaged, because I think he put up around 10 assists in summer league last year. So let me take a quick look. Okay, 8.2. I was wrong. I thought it was more. He put up solid numbers in summer league last year, though. 13 points, 4.8 rebounds, 8.2 assists. Yes, 3 turnovers, like you said. But I mean, you hit the nail on the head. These are almost identical to his first year G League stats. Again, I think the real key to JD's having is if he gets that 3-point shot down. He was money in the summer league last year, 46.7%, but we'll have to see moving forward. Eugene Germain. I don't know exactly. I'm sorry. He's from Gary, Indiana. He is 25 years old, only 6 feet tall. A lot of guards on the Celtics Summer League roster
on this G League team.
Yep. Undrafted in the 2020 NBA draft. He went to Northern Illinois, where he spent 4 seasons. Let's take a look at college stats first. He averaged 20 points in college, 41.5% from the field, 33.3% from 3 on 7 attempts a game there, Sam. Probably not the ideal
it doesn't know the also stop when you can't make them.
2.7 assists as a 6-foot point guard doesn't exactly leave me super excited. Has he been playing internationally? I would assume. Yes, he
what
played
is that logo?
For where?
He has
in China.
Had to get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
He has. He played for the Qingdao. I'm so sorry. He played in the CBA.
Finish it.
He played for the Qingdao Double Star Eagles. So
they do have some creative names over in China.
There is that. In China this past season, he played in 41 games, averaged 22 minutes, 24 points, 45% from the field, 29% from 3 on 9.5 attempts per game, 5.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists to 2.4 turnovers. Early candidate for Sam's least favorite player. Thoughts?
I will say the most fire thing about the CBA seems to be they just let the guys that want to shoot a million shots. That's why you see these guys from the NBA go over there and like light it up. When Jimmer was over there, he was scoring like 70 points.
Yeah,
because he was taking like 40 shots.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said CBA, I immediately thought like the contract bargaining.
Well, that CBA is a vice grip on the league's balls right now, so it's very reasonable for you to think of that.
This is true. I'm curious. How many? I'll let you guess while I pull it up. How many threes a game was Jimmer attempting in China? I'm gonna look.
I'll say he actually was probably shooting relative numbers to what they shoot now. Like star players, probably like 9,
10.
Yeah.
What do you shoot? Percentage?
He probably shot 37%.
39.8 on 10 threes. That's pretty good. Superstar Jimmer Fredette over there. But back on track. Sorry, got distracted. Next up, we have Sam Grissel, who kind of looks like our boy here. Sam, you make the you make the summer league roster this year, pal.
My hair doesn't look like that.
Well,
This has been a contentious point in my life where some people try and tell me I have blonde hair and others tell me I have brown hair.
I think you do.
I
have
believe
brown
that
hair.
my hair is brown.
You do have brown hair. I just like his name is Sam. He looks somewhat.
No, if
similar.
you do that thing where you like unfocus your eyes, it's me. Yeah,
exactly. So you made the
Yeah.
summer league roster. Congratulations.
good for me.
You're younger. You're younger than you.
You're younger.
That makes you sad. Makes me sad whenever I see it. But undrafted free agent out of Nebraska from this year's draft class. So this is a fresh face in the NBA or in the basketball world, so to speak. Excuse me. He is German, but from the U.S. Born in Lincoln, Nebraska. Went to Nebraska. Spent 4 years there. He is 6'6", a guard/forward. I've never seen it listed like that. He's a GF. It's a bit odd.
Gluten-free.
Hey, it's good.
He might
It's-
actually
he-
be. Who knows?
I was gonna say he looks like he's gluten free, but this past season, he is 6'6". Again, I would have bet you money, Sam. He shoots threes. Does not shoot threes. He is 12 points on 45% shooting, 32%.
Well, this is also
to a game.
college basketball stuff. College basketball is a different
True.
game.
True, but I mean, the indicator, he shot 68% from the line. Not exactly the best free throw
Not a
shooter, so
great
maybe not the
shooter.
best shooter. Not a lot of 3-point shooters on the Celtics Summer League roster so far.
Missoula's just
that's
gonna have
good
an
thing.
aneurysm watching him. Like they're gonna like go to the basket and he's gonna have a stroke.
Tony Dobbins will be coaching the team, by the way.
Yeah, but Missoula will be watching somewhere.
I know. I'm just saying that was something that I thought of while you were saying that.
I like Tony Dobbins.
6 rebounds, 4 assists. Fine. 2.3 turnovers. Fine. Played a lot of minutes for them, so it's all right. Very weird, though, that there's not a lot of 3-point shooting on the roster. I really thought it would be better. What's his career best? I've never gone to this tab, and it doesn't look like I'm going to because it's not loading. 26 points. So 14 rebounds, 12 assists, maybe a well-rounded player. I don't know. Not a 3-point shooter. Next guy up on the roster, Reggie Kissenlaw. He played for the Celtics Summer League team this past year, G League team this past year, Maine Celtics. 27 years old, 7 feet tall. When I went up there to interview Coach Alec Baldwin, Coach
Alec Baldwin.
I'm completely blanking.
Did you ask him about like the gun incident?
No,
Where somebody got shot on set of his movie?
Alex Barlow. Freudian slip. Apologies. When I interviewed Coach Barlow, I saw Reggie Kissenlaw. Great energy. He was just like messing around, messing with JD Davis. And so I have a feeling he's going to be a fun bench guy at the very least if he doesn't get minutes. But he went to Northwestern State. He was a 2019 NBA draft, undrafted. Like I said, spent this past season with the Maine Celtics. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. He went to William M. Raines High School and Northwestern State. 18 games for the Maine Celtics this past year. Didn't play much, only 10 minutes a night up in Maine. Averaged 46% from the field, 37% from three, 3 rebounds. Didn't play much. He's basically the Maine Celtics Luke Cornett. Put it that way. Did he play internationally before this? Yes, he played for the Randers Camibria. I don't know where this is. This is in Danish basketball league he played for. And I mean, for what it's worth, this was his first season with the Maine Celtics. The year before that, within the Danish basketball league, Reggie Kissenlaw averaged 20 points, 8.6 rebounds, 2 assists, and most importantly, shot 53% from the field and 41% from 3. So you know the skill set is there. Didn't really translate to the G League, to the Maine Celtics very much, but you know it. He's got the skills. He can shoot threes. He's a somewhat, I don't want to say versatile big man, but at least offensively, he can shoot the shots. He's an efficient scorer when it comes down to it. I can't imagine he plays much. He's already 27, probably just a roster filler guy that they brought up from Maine. But at the very least, an interesting guy to have. He's one of the only 2 centers on the roster. At him and Oleg Balcherowski, I believe, are the only centers on the Celtics Summer League roster so far. But again, it just seems like he's a Summer League roster filler that they brought over from the Maine Celtics. Next guy down the list is somebody we've talked about. I believe we mentioned him at the very least in the last podcast. Maybe we talked about him in the reaction video. Michael Mulder is joining the Celtics Summer League team. I think the oldest guy on the team at 29 years old. Another small guard, 6'3". Like I said, Kisun Lul and Balcherowski are the only centers on the roster. That's a lot of guards and wings past that, which, I mean, that's a basketball team, but you think they fill it out with a bit more size at the guard position at the very least. 6'3", 2017 NBA draft, has spent some time in the NBA. Went to Kentucky for college. He is 29 years old. Played for the G League, in the G League, this past season, with this Sioux Falls Skyforce with Justin Champagnie for a few games. He averaged 17 points, 44% of the field, 41% from three on 10 attempts a game. So there's your 3-point shooting maybe for the Celtics squad. 3.6 rebounds, 2.7 assists, only 1.4 turnovers for a guy who plays 37 minutes a night with the ball in his hands. Not bad as well. I have a sneaking suspicion they're probably going to play him a lot, even though like maybe you want to get a look at the young guys, but I'm not saying he's going to get minutes for the Celtics, but if there was anybody to make the Celtics roster of the Summer League bunch, it feels like it would be Michael Mulder because they need some guard depth, even if they're not going to play much. Does that make sense?
Well, I would say this is the guy they have on the team because they're competitive. They want to win, right?
Okay. The Summer League.
Shoot a million threes guy, shoot 40% from three guy. Yeah, whatever.
I'm just saying, like, if there is anybody that they might say, okay, maybe we get a look at for the fourth string guard to fill a roster spot, it would be him, which is, and that's not
you
to
think
say
it's him instead of Davison.
Yes, but that's not to say I don't think Davison will be on the team. I think Davison's already on a 2-way contract, so I think they'll keep him in that spot. But I think if they bring anybody up from the G League, from the Summer League team, it might be Mulder. But the more of the point I was trying to make was I think a lot of Celtics fans are going to be not irritated, but they're going to be like, why aren't we looking at these younger guys? Why are we looking at Michael Mulder in the Summer League all summer when we could be looking at the younger guys? And I think a big part of that is like, oh, maybe we can sign a third string guard for 29 here. But anyways, next player is a guy we did react to on the channel. It is Jay Scrub. We reacted to his highlights. If you guys want to check that out, head on over to channel. Doesn't like passing very much. Can confirm. Actually, conferred with our sources, Tyler Rucker. Can confirm. Doesn't love passing very much. Jay Scrub out of John A. Logan. First JUCO player drafted since 2004.
Yep.
Flipping over my words here. 55th pick in the 2020 NBA draft to the Brooklyn Nets. Spent some time with the Clippers and the Orlando Magic. He is 22 years old. Played his college ball again. John A. Logan. 6'5". He is more of a guard, but we compared him to Javonte Green. Spoiler alert. This past season in the G League, he played with the Lakeland Magic, Orlando's G League team. He averaged 22 points, 6 rebounds, 2.3 assists, shot 46% of the field, 28% from three. Took a lot of threes too. 7 threes for a guy who's not necessarily a great 3-point shooter.
And more turnovers than assists.
Not the best. Not the best indicator there about Jay Scrub. But I mean, we talked about this on the React. So if you want our full thing, like thoughts there, go check it out. But like, I think he could be an okay piece to look at. He's still young, and I do think he could fill that Javonte Green-esque role with his cutting, and if he can play defense, which we need to see in Summer League. That's the biggest thing for me.
What I want to know is how guys that don't move the ball get this far. Because you've played pickup basketball where guys don't pass, and it's like the team never wins. I truly don't know.
This is true.
Imagine how talented, I mean, he has to be that talented to get this far without the unselfishness.
He's a bucket.
Imagine if that extra layer of his game of just being passive or making the right play goes in.
Yeah, good player. He could be real good.
I mean, 17 and a half shots compared to 2 assists is not good.
That is crazy. That is kind of nuts. I mean, I wonder what Jalen's shot to assist ratio was this year. Not to be the Jalenator guy, but it was probably pretty similar. And that's not even like trying to trash Jalen. That's just to say, like, I think some guys are just scorers and they're not really passers. But if I think to your point, if you're going to be a role player, you do need to be able to make that extra pass. And I think that's the biggest thing. But Javonte Green doesn't pass. So maybe that. I like I said, the biggest thing for me for Jay Scrub, can he play defense in Summer League? That's the indicator of whether or not he can play at the NBA level in any sort of role. All right, last guy that we know about on the Celtics Summer League roster so far is somebody I've seen a lot of hype on Twitter about. Vincent Valerio-Bodon, I think is how you say his name. He is Hungarian, undrafted in the 2023 NBA draft, so he's a fresh face around the league at the very least. Mm-hmm. 6'9". I've seen floated around. He's actually 6'10". So he is a tall forward, guard / forward, which is kind of crazy. He played his international ball this past season with in the Hungarian league, which makes sense. These names, I'm sorry. Sopron KC is where he played this past season.
Almost
In
a
the
50, 40,
Hungarian
90.
NBIA. This is true. He's very efficient. He played 30 games internationally this season. 8 points, 50% for the field, 41% from three, 87.9, which is where the 90 loses. From the free throw line. 4 rebounds, almost 2 assists, few turnovers. This guy's intriguing. Just from what we're seeing, like you can see why he's an NBA prospect.
Yeah. It seems like he's almost ready to step into a role. Just looking at the way his stats are split in that Hungarian league where he's taking 6 shots a game?
Yep, 3 threes, half a
He's
threes.
a role player in that league. He's averaging almost 50, 40, 90 splits. Like, these are almost Grant Williams numbers when you flip it and compare it to an NBA player.
It's true. You're not wrong. And I think, like Jay Scrubb, like the thing we just need to see that can't be reflected by stats. And I think with the hype that I've seen with this guy on Twitter, I think we should do and will do a reaction video.
Sure.
So maybe we'll see some of his highlights. But it's all about the defense. If he can defend at a solid level, especially at his height, maybe there's a spot for him. The Celtics have 2 two-way contracts left. I know JD Davison's going to be on one. I don't know if they're bringing Kabagele back another 2-way, but at the very least they'll have 1 2-way. And so you'll definitely see some of these summer league guys fighting for that 2-way deal. Unless they give it to Jordan Walsh. Do you think they put Jordan Walsh on a 2-way instead of a full standard? It's possible. I haven't really thought about that.
Makes sense. He's 19. His offensive game is very raw.
It's true.
I think if you put him in real game situations with the actual Celtics, it's going to be very tough for him to transition.
And I mean, speaking of transition, Sam, let's just go right over to
How about that?
Jordan Walsh, the next segment of our show. Let me take this down real quick. Jordan Walsh spoke to the Celtics media for the first time since getting drafted. Lot of quotable quotes in there. A lot of stuff going around on
Twitter.
Of
pandering.
A lot of pandering. The most quoted one, viral one, was something along the lines of like, there's been a lot of loving and trusting in Boston for something like that. I know, Sam, you're not a huge fan of the Marcus Smart
soon.
quote.
It's just like lay off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of brought it up. It's not really his fault. Like the media is really trying to paint him as the Smart successor. And it's like,
yes,
the kid's a 2nd-round pick. Like, give him a break. It's a lot of pressure to put on a guy coming in the league. Played 1 year of college ball, wasn't efficient shooting. Like, he was a role player on the Arkansas team. He's fine. This is not me saying he's never going to give the Celtics anything. No.
Yes.
But expecting and painting the picture for people to expect him to be Marcus Smart right away is a lot of pressure to put on a guy that's a 2nd-round pick and is probably going to play a lot of games up in Maine.
I agree with you. I agree. And I think the fact that he was Boston's only draft pick and there was this big deal made out of, oh, Brad wanted this guy and he was willing to trade back and he was fine getting him. Like, I think that's put a lot of focus on him. Also, the fact that there's really not much else to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were this hyped about JD last year. People were talking about JD like
25 minutes on the Summer League.
I know. People were talking about JD Davis and like he was going to get rotation minutes this past. So we got to put it in perspective, but there are some quotes and we'll talk about it. Celtics rolled out the red carpet for him in Boston today as we're recording this. I think today, maybe yesterday. But
when you're listening to this, it'll be a yesterday.
Exactly. Quotes from Jordan Walsh. It's starting to sink in. This helps for sure. The kids definitely helped welcome me to the Celtics. He hosted a community camp there. So he was doing a, what's the word?
He was doing a charity event appearance.
Charity event. It was a camp. It was like a camp for kids. Like he was helping run a camp. Like a basketball camp. It's been fun. I love the city so far. I love the food that I've eaten. I love the people. I've fallen in love with Boston. I haven't even been here 24 hours. This just sounds like pandering, yes, but I think any 19-year-old kid rookie would say this about any city. He's just excited to be in a new place. Like I think if he went to Charlotte, he'd say, I loved everything so far. Like, this is cool. Cause it's like his first experience. Like,
yeah, it's, oh my God, I'm an NBA player.
This is the equivalent of a lot of like normal people going to college. Do you know what I'm saying? In that,
yes.
like, obviously he went to college, but like he was grew up playing basketball. He's gonna play basketball.
College
That's
wasn't the
community.
end game.
Exactly. He's here. This is his thing. This is a completely new environment, completely shut off from like this is his life now. And it's kind of like starting there. It's kind of like the more fun version of us graduating college and realizing we have to do something with our lives. But he like gets
That
to like
part
do it
is
in a fun way.
terrible.
I know, but I'm saying like this is
Like
a
at
good
least
version
twice
of
a
that.
week, I'm like, damn, like all these kids just got out of school for the summer.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
are we doing?
I know it makes me
To
feel
get
so
up and just
old.
have no responsibilities would be something else.
That's what I'm saying. More quotes, or this isn't a quote, but it's like something that happened. Jordan Walsh said that he's already texted Al Horford saying he wants to learn from him. I'd say if you're going to pick somebody from the team, that's a pretty good place to start, right? I mean, texting Al Horford is pretty good.
It would be funny if Horford just ghosted him.
Imagine. Oh yeah, sorry man, I don't really use my phone much. He will wear 27 for the Celtics. Daniel
Yeah.
Tice, thoughts?
Did he get Tice's permission?
This summer
Tice,
saying.
who's still kind of a barnacle on the Celtics. You saw him. He went to the finals to support the fellas. Kind of
True.
messed up. What if they trade for him? If they trade for him, he better bully the hell out of him to give him the number.
It's true. Maybe give him some of the $9 million he's making on his current contract. You give it up a little bit. Another quote: "I can feel the winning atmosphere all around the city. Love for the Celtics is crazy." Again, 19-year-old kid. He's basically a celebrity now. That must be kind of crazy, especially in Boston. Quote from Brad Stevens on Friday morning: "He has a special ability laterally and with his wingspan to swallow up people defensively. He really creates havoc with his arms and with his energy and his ability to move his feet. Hidden among his 6'7" height, he's got a 7'2" wingspan. That's kind of disgusting. Like, I think I read somewhere he has like a 9.5 foot standing reach. Like he is ridiculously long for a wing. That's
nuts.
That is crazy. Reading some more of these quotes here. There's a bunch of them. We'll react, but this is a news dump. This is your news part of the podcast. We just went over a bunch of summer league guys. Like we got to get the news in. Brad Stevens quote: "He's just getting better and better. I always thought his touch looked good, but he looked hesitant at times. I think over time he'll become a really good shooter who has the athleticism to finish and drive closeouts, and he'll be ahead on the defensive end to start." I always think that's important. You always say this, like, you can teach a shot, you can't teach defense. Like that's generally how
Right.
it is.
You really can't teach somebody to try. Example, the entire team in the playoffs, right? We begged them to try and they didn't. And this is where we've ended up. They've had to trade one of the only guys that tries.
This is true.
They're back to square one. Not really. They still have a lot of great pieces.
Yes,
but
they are. Don't worry. The Chris Haynes notification I saw you look at is nothing.
Yes, you can teach the guy to shoot. Absolutely.
Exactly.
You can work them into the ground. You can point to former Celtics players that have learned to shoot while in the Celtics. Aaron Baines. Smart became a better 3-point shooter if you really want to point at somebody.
Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was not
Brown
a great
until this year. Yes,
Sure.
they work with guys. They do a good job at developing them. That was always a big Brad Stevens thing, and I'd imagine that type of sentiment remains with the franchise with him.
With Joe Mazzulla? You think Joe Mazzulla likes 3-point shooting, Sam?
Yeah,
I wonder.
Mazzulla's like shoot a million threes.
That's what I'm saying. No, but I mean it's good. He's ready. We reacted to his highlights. He's got an okay shot for him, right?
Yep.
It's not bad.
That was something we did take away from that.
It's teachable. Quote, another pandering one Sam might not like: "I heard that Boston likes people who dive on the floor more than people who dunk the ball. That's going to be me. I'll still do a little dunking, but I'm just a guy who will do whatever it takes to win." And as much as that is pandering a little bit from Jordan Walsh, like from what we see and from what we've seen in highlights, that just genuinely is his game. It does kind of feel like, not directly, but Brad drafted somebody who like at least plays with the same sort of mindset, I guess. Again, you don't want to put that pressure on him, but you can tell he is a hustle guy.
In terms of Jordan Walsh.
In terms of, yes, but like in terms of a hustle guy, like he brought in somebody who just tries really hard, which, like you said, the Celtics kind of need. They need guys who try. More apt, tired Jordan Walsh as Marcus Smart replacement, wired Jordan Walsh as Grant Williams replacement.
That is probably more likely. Yes.
Yes.
That's a good point. I wish people would start doing that.
As
I just don't really like putting pressure on a second round pick.
Yeah, no,
it's not fair to him. He's 19. Leave him alone.
I agree with you. And I mean, speaking of that, Jordan Walsh quote: "It's amazing to be their only pick in the draft. For them to trust that with me, that means a lot. And it says a lot because I'm going to an organization that loves winning and I love winning. So it just means the world to me." Again, he was their only pick. This is I don't think there's a lot of pressure, but This is true.
Did not have to be.
They really wanted it to be, though.
Brad was just working with the narrative as Jack and I sat here and were dying on the stream.
This is
and
true.
They traded back 3 times.
Maybe Sam will like this quote. Just today, I took a picture in front of the banners. That's special to have that accomplished of being the best team in NBA history. That's not nothing. That isn't anything, to be taken lightly. That's years of development, years of love, years of trust. That's what got taken out of contest. Years of love, years of trust. Not just the players, but from the fans. For them to come and support every game, that means so much because they're a big part of what Boston accomplished. And now I just hope to be a part of it too. Hearing the full quote, do we think he knew what he was doing? Do we think he knew what he was doing?
That I'm not positive about.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like a lot of people spun it because they know.
They just got rock hard when they heard it.
But do we think he knows what that means to the Celtics?
I'm not sure if he knows that yet. I think this quote is a good quote, and it seems like it might be the most genuine of the bunch. Or
it seems harmless.
Genuine's the wrong word. It's just like the most like
heartfelt,
not starstruck or like adrenaline fueled. It's just like, yeah, like I understand what this organization is about. It's a very important thing for me to come in here and do my job and help the team compete. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last quote is something I already said, the atmosphere around the city, love for the Celtics. He seems very excited. Like we said, he's a 19-year-old kid in his first like new situation in a long time. Like even college, like sure, but like this is his first time. Like he is an NBA player. This is his lifelong dream. And as much as you think he might be pandering, like the Celtics are like one of the organizations in the NBA.
That part is fine.
Yes, for him to be their only draft pick, like I don't want to use the word pressure, but like you can understand him saying like, "Wow, these guys traded all the way back, picked me, took nobody else. Like I am the rookie this year. They entrusted me with that." Like you can understand why he sees it that way and why some people are like, "Oh, this is the guy now," even though like. And I will say, not to put pressure on him, like that's not the intention here. Like he does have the skill set to make an impact, at least at a small level right away. Like if you can play defense at an NBA level, you're going to be able to give some minutes. And I'm not saying he's going to play regular minutes, but like, I mean, I said this in the reaction video. He is just the opposite of Sam Hauser. Sam Hauser will be there if they need offense. Jordan Walsh will be there if they need defense. And maybe one day Jordan Walsh can develop the 3-point shot to make Sam Hauser a bit more obsolete, even though it'll never get to that level. But like, that's the point of like, Sam Hauser's never going to be an elite defender, but there's a chance that Jordan Walsh could be a solid shooter, just like Grant Williams, just like Al Horford did it in a Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? So I do think there could be a place for him to play some minutes, but to expect, like, he's not going to get 15 minutes tonight. That's crazy, right? So
agree.
We'll see.
He's going to play for the Red Claws and the Maine Celtics.
Yes.
What he's going to do.
And hopefully he does really well. And
yes,
we'll have
root for him. Just don't put stupid expectations on a guy that's the third best player on his college team.
Is that you're right? He was the third best player. Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Moving on. Last Celtics thing we have for y'all today. Kind of old, kind of new. The Jazz were interested in Kristaps Porzingis, which kind of pushed the Celtics to get a deal done. So the night of the trade, taking you back to a painful experience, at least for us. The Celtics had a deal in place with the Clippers, and the Wizards would have sent Malcolm Brogdon to the Clippers. Clippers said, "Psych, we don't have time to get a physical done. We don't want to do it anymore." Celtics scrambled in the last hour or so because Kristaps Porzingis did have a deadline to accept his player option and remain tradable. And the Celtics scrambled, got a deal together, traded Marcus Smart to the Memphis Grizzlies, got the deal done. Reportedly, I think Mark Stein, right, that reported this. let me read the quote here from Mark Stein. Stein, Wednesday's Kristaps Porzingis trade saga ultimately required the Celtics to manufacture 2 separate deals to acquire the former Wizard. Along the way, I heard from multiple rival teams that were convinced Porzingis, had he not landed with the Celtics, was poised to receive a strong free agent interest from Utah had he elected to decline his player option for next season. So it sounded like Danny Ainge and the Jazz really wanted Porzingis. Side note, something I saw, I think it was on Twitter from Keith Smith, or it's something I saw because it happened in another case. They could have pushed Porzingis's date back. Like they could have said delayed it. So
Josh Hart did that.
Yes, that's a little bit of a question mark. Like, could he have pushed it back? Could they have found another shooter for Brogdon? Like, what's the rush there? So that's a little bit of the like, what could happen?
Yeah,
I agree. But the Jazz's interest in Porzingis did speed up the Celtics' need effectively to get a deal done, which in turn, goodbye Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only real idea behind that could be they were afraid that he would just decline this option in favor of more money because that's what Utah was about to give him.
But
The
Porzingis wanted to be in
consensus
Boston.
was that Boston was the preferred destination.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But you never know. We talk about this on the show all the time. Why doesn't just every guy play for free? Because they want to make money. It's true. So it sounds like he's going to get a 2-year extension.
Yep. Mark Stein
It
reported
sounds like the
Expensive
Celtics didn't want to
extension.
risk him getting away, and they're going to have him until he's 30, which is not a bad age to come back and regroup.
But I think in the report, $77 million 2-year extension. So it's going to be.
Cares?
Right.
Don't care.
Agree. I know you don't.
They're in this, the Celtics are not a team that really has to worry about this just yet. Not that they're not going to violate the second apron, but because Tatum, Brown, now Porzingis, Derek White, Brogdon, Horford, Sam Hauser's under contract for a few years, and then you have all these guys on rookie deals. So let's just say Walsh pans out, you have him.
Hauser.
The majority of Boston's rotation is under contract through at least 2 seasons.
Yes.
It does not matter if they splurge on Porzingis because their top 7-ish guys are set in stone.
Sure.
And I can't help to. Oh, Rob Williams, another one. Missed him.
Al too. Did you even say Al?
I did say Al. Al, I said because they extended him. Williams, I completely blanked on.
Mhm.
I knew I was missing somebody. Their whole top 8 is under contract for the foreseeable future. It does not really matter if they can bring in a mid-level guy. It's nice. It's a luxury. I think they're going to need it this season. They should take advantage of it. But as far as the next couple seasons, who cares? Are they going to be blowing up this team and having to worry about that? I sure hope not.
That would breed a whole new world of problems outside of the CBA. If that ended up being the case. I agree with you. Danny Ainge though might be on the rat list for that. Might be the reason Marcus is gone. A little bit of rat list move.
Well, they were going to facilitate a trade had other team not done it. Memphis.
Who? The Jazz?
Yeah. Whether it would have included Marcus, that's yet to be seen.
I would assume Danny would want his guy. Let's be real.
Maybe.
Unfortunately. But maybe that would have gotten you 16 instead of 25, which they could have traded back from over and over.
Yeah, they could have just had us get more excited. Even though at 16, they could have got some really solid prospects.
It would have probably been 28. I think Utah had 28.
They got Hawkes.
Don't remind me. But we can wrap up the Celtics talk there for the day. Move on to some NBA talk. And speaking of the CBA and all the fun cap stuff, the
vice grip it has on the league.
Yeah. As Sam so aptly tweeted, hell has frozen over. John Collins finally got traded. Came into the league in trade rumors, never left him. Finally got traded to Utah. Speaking of the meme of speaking of, they instead of Porzingis, they got John Collins instead for Rudy Gay and a 2nd round pick. And do you know the meme where it's this season at least it was Jokic and Embiid running. Embiid stops for the MVP. Jokic, it's like John Collins and Miles Turner running. John Collins stops for the Jazz. Miles Turner running. NBA trade rumors. 5 trades for Miles Turner moving forward. Miles Turner got the train rolling still, but crazy return for the Hawks in the worst way possible. Rudy Gay and a 2nd round pick. We don't know the details of the 2nd round pick yet. Sam and I were looking around. This is a cap space move. The Hawks are one of the most expensive teams in the league,
and they haven't gotten results.
Exactly, for no reason, right? They made the 7th seed. They were the 7th seed, this past season. They missed they were the 7th seed again the year prior. And it feels like a lot of fans are clinging on to that. Oh, we made the Eastern Conference Finals run. Hasn't really panned out since. They haven't really been able to build on it. I think the GM of the team, the previous GM, Travis Schlenk, I think was his name, or unless it's the owner, talked about how I do regret running back the same group after the ECF. I feel like we should have capitalized on it rather than running it back with the same core. They tried.
How can you feel like that though? In all seriousness, you have an Eastern Conference Finals team led by Trae Young, who had been drafted the year prior. Or no, that's not true. He was on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
They had all these young pieces around him. Why would you not continue to try and build on that? They
You just
did
want
the
to run
right
it back.
thing. You could just be like, I think we did the right thing. It just didn't
No,
work out.
no. This is the year after the Eastern Conference Finals when they didn't make additions. Really,
That's
like,
what I
this is-
mean. Like,
But
there's no reason they should have not run it back. Like, they overachieved. That would be like the Celtics in 2018 after they almost went to the finals, being like, yeah,
Well,
blow it up.
he didn't mean blow it up. He meant like he wish he added more pieces, like veterans, added some guys in there to help them
Did
compete.
the Celtics
Regardless,
do that? I don't
then
think
they
did.
maybe not, but then they made a bigger swing. Well, the Celtics was kind of different because they had guys coming back from
They were
injury.
getting
Regardless,
guys for free. Yeah.
Sure. Regardless, added DeJounte Murray this past year, but
He makes no money.
this is true, but their payroll is kind of nuts. The Hawks payroll right now, let's take a look. Obviously,
Trae
John
Young,
Collins was
gazillion.
gone. Trae Young, guaranteed $215 million. John Collins was guaranteed $100 million. Clint Capella guaranteed $61 million. Bogdan 36, DeJounte 34, 99 for Hunter. This is including this past year, but next year's salary books is looking like $40 million for Trae Young, 25 for Collins, which is now gone, 20 for Capella, 20 for Hunter, 18 for Bogdanovich, 17 for DeJounte, 8 for Onyeka. Like, it's a lot of
They're
money
not
for
even
a lot
like
of guys.
They don't necessarily have bad contracts. Like, none of those contracts you just read off to me jump off the page as like, why the hell are they
Just the result.
Why are they paying him that? Why are they paying
no
him that?
results.
It's not
Yes.
coming off. It's not coming off like that.
It's
It's
just
just they have a bunch of guys that are like mid.
They're paying Celtics money for a team without Celtics results. Effectively, it's the same contracts, right? Like the 20 mil is a lot of guys, a couple guys on max, and now they traded Rudy Gay, or they traded for Rudy Gay in a second just to dump Collins' salary because I think he had some of the most long-term money, at least the most guaranteed money. DeAndre Hunter is actually on a really good contract. I don't know if you're as high as on him as I am. I mean, he's making 20,
He's a
21.
good fit on the right team.
Yeah.
He should be a good fit on this Hawks team. He was good against the Celtics a few games.
He's making 20, 21, 23, 25, which sounds like a lot, but like by the time that 25
today,
kicks in, that's going to be pennies.
Makes less
exactly.
than Poole, makes less than Hero.
But Woj
Who would
also
you rather
tweeting, I
have?
believe. DeAndre Hunter. Woj also tweeted, it depends. He's more of a role player. The other guys can be stars. Anyways, Woj also tweeting that the Hawks aren't done. They're probably going to make some more moves. Conflicting reports. Brian Windhorst reporting a couple days ago, however long ago, that they're under a mandate from ownership to get under luxury tax, which would make sense by ways of this John Collins trade. But then in the second tweet, Woj saying Landry Fields has permission to go back into the luxury tax if it means fielding a competitive team.
So both are probably
weird.
true. They just probably, what that tells you, they don't believe John Collins is part of a competitive team for them.
Sure. But what's the trade now? Bogdanovich gone, Hunter gone, and what does that net you? Like what to be honest, I think
cap situation is now.
I think they don't have any money. They're still so deep into debt. I think they trade DeJounte Murray, as crazy as it sounds. He's probably one of the more valuable guys on the team on a solid contract teams wouldn't mind having.
Do you do that if you're the Celtics?
For what?
Brown?
Jalen? No.
Something.
I wouldn't trade Jalen for DeJounte. I think Jalen's a much, much better player than DeJounte Murray.
That's the only way I think you get him.
I agree. I mean, would you do Jalen for Hunter and Murray? Maybe. Regardless, I think that's their best avenue to getting better because it's a decent contract. Teams would be okay with trading. And to be honest, I don't think that Hawks team works with a second ball like dominant guard. You have Trae Young; he needs the ball.
That's what I said from the beginning, and nobody.
I agree with you. You were right. And DeJounte Murray can't space the floor, and we saw it. We saw it in the playoffs. The Hawks were better when it was just one of them out there.
Yeah, they lost. The Celtics lost that game, and we were all like, "What the hell?" Then everyone watched our pod.
This is true. People loved it. But I think trading DeJounte probably is the best pathway forward. What do they do? DeMar DeRozan for DeJounte Murray? I don't hate that for either team.
It's a steal.
For who?
Of course you love that.
For who?
Chicago? They get off that DeRozan contract. They get Murray for nothing.
1 year. 1 year left. 1 year left on the contract.
Okay, but then I would rather pay Murray money than DeRozan.
Really? DeRozan's better. DeRozan's better than DeJounte Murray.
He's old.
Yeah, but there's only 1 year. But if you're the Hawks and you are trying to field a competitive team while also trying to help the CBA, it clears your books after this past season. And I think DeMar DeRozan makes the Hawks a better team than DeJounte Murray does in that
Is
spot.
DeRozan a great fit next to Trae Young? Now, this does not mean that DeRozan is not a good player.
No, he's not the perfect fit, but I think he's a better fit than DeJounte Murray.
DeRozan is a player that you kind of need to be a competitive team or to be a really good team because he can actually create shots for himself and close games.
This is true, which is why I think he'd be all right. And they need a veteran presence. I think that would definitely help them. As far as other teams, like, did the Heat make a deal? Like, would you trade like Hero for DeJounte Murray if you're either team?
If I'm Miami, I'm going after Murray.
But I don't know if the Heat would. Like, do they think Hero makes them that much better? I do think Hero is a much better fit next to Trae Young than DeJounte Murray. But do they think it's a good enough fit to go
Atlanta,
into luxury
this
tax?
is?
Yes. Like, does Atlanta think Hero's a good enough
No.
fit to go into long-term money? I agree with you.
Hero's teetering on a negative contract, and I think that's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
Just everything we've heard, like Miami wants to get off him, Miami wants to get off him, Miami wants to get off him. The new CBA has come in. Again, vice grip. You just saw the Warriors do essentially the same thing.
Mhm.
Got rid of Jordan Poole, who's on a similar deal to Hero, similar extension, in favor of just not paying him that money. They brought in Chris Paul, who they believe can help and kind of has beef with their whole team, which we can talk about in a second.
Yes.
Instead of paying him, is Miami thinking that now? They're like, oh, we just made the finals without Hero. This new CBA is coming in. It's going to kick us in the nuts, and we can't make any moves in the future. Why don't we get rid of this guy, bring in somebody that can help us be more competitive? And other teams, especially an Atlanta team that's trying to get off money, is not going to go after Hero. We've seen stuff that says other teams don't even want Hero. Because I think more teams are starting to think like me, why would you pay this guy this much money? Why? Because now they have to think that way.
It's not this. It's a similar fit because they're both ball dominant point guards. If you're Portland, do you throw something at the Hawks for DeJounte Murray? You need talent. If you're
Maybe
Portland.
you do.
You
but,
need some defense.
Well, Portland does not need another guard.
You're right. Actually, they just got
Portland officially out on guards. I actually think, and if you really want to get into like the Dame stuff, whichever you want to do first, Dame
I do want to go. I have a
State?
couple more. I have a couple more teams for DeJounte first, and then we can get into
Okay,
those.
great. Go ahead.
Just quick, the Clippers. I think the Clippers make sense. I mean,
This
they
is
need a
where I
point
was going to
guard.
go. Okay,
So-
Clippers. It does make sense. They need a point guard. How badly does Atlanta want to get off this money? Is he really the guy? Who are they getting back? Norm Powell? Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe you go for Norm Powell, not Marcus Morris. Atlanta's not going to want to pay that money. They're not in a tank mode.
Yeah, that's true. Now, the last one before we jump, they don't get James Harden. We saw DeJounte Murray lead a young team to the
Okay.
play-in before. The Rockets, easy. I mean, that's easy, I think.
But they just drafted a point guard.
You're right. But still, I mean, is he going to be the full-time starter right away? Maybe. Can he play off the ball?
They
Probably
hope
not.
so.
But they've been rumored to been wanting point guards all summer. They want Van
They
Vliet.
sure
They
have.
want Harden. They want Chris Paul. DeJounte
This
Murray
probably
makes
just
sense.
tells you that they're not getting Harden.
This is true. This is true. But
What's next? Which one you want to do?
we mentioned Dame. Let's just go
Okay,
into Dame.
Dame.
I know you want to complain.
I've had
so
enough
I'll
of
go.
Dame. Okay, Dame. I think this is the most Dame has been talked about since they made the conference finals, maybe. And he's loving
Yeah.
it. He's milking it. He's going on Instagram Live. He's taking meetings with the team. He has Chris Haynes acting as a mouthpiece. He definitely wants to go to Miami. Well, guess what? You're under contract, buddy. They'll trade you wherever they want. But there is the factor of he's been there. They're going to treat him right. Deserved.
Mhm.
I will say deserved for now. Because he is kind of screwing around with Portland now.
Yes.
It's gotten to the point where he's like playing Welcome to Miami on an Instagram story. He's mad that they drafted somebody.
Jimmy
What are
Butler.
you mad at? Why are you
Jimmy-
mad at that?
Jimmy Butler is putting Dame songs on his Instagram story.
Yeah, and I tweeted the Brian's hat, but it's the bucket hat for Tyler Hero.
Yeah, and then I mean, we looked at this earlier in the pod. Chris Haynes tweeted out again, Dame's mouthpiece effectively. They're friends. They're whatever. It's fine. Joe Cronin, Blazers GM, issue statement. I met with Dame and Aaron Goodwin this afternoon. We had a great dialogue. We remain committed to building a winner around Dame. Cool.
Yeah, same stance.
Thanks.
Portland. So this is like when you watch like a TV show and it's like previously on whatever show.
Yeah.
Previously on, Damian Lillard kind of wants to compete, but not really. He doesn't want the pressure. Portland has said they want to build around Dame.
Yep.
Dame refuses to say anything, but he's just sitting there like, maybe I want to go play for Miami, maybe I don't.
Well, Dame did say stuff today. He said he doesn't want to play with all-stars or superstars. He made that very clear, Sam. He doesn't want to play with three all-stars.
This is the Spider-Man Homecoming when he's in the limo with Tony Stark and he's like, don't do anything I would do, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And like Portland's sitting there like, what the hell do we do? So do we get him good players? Do we get mid players? What team would he want to go to? Does Miami count? Because if he goes to Miami, that's a good team. Like, does he want to join a good team?
It's three all-stars, him, Dame, Bam.
This is kind of our fault as media too for like bullying players, and it finally worked, and now it's annoying.
I know,
but he just doesn't know what he wants to do, and it's really frustrating.
Have you seen the meme where it's like, "Please God, stop giving me your toughest battles," and God's sitting there like, "You're still here. What are you doing?"
I haven't seen that, but that sounds hilarious.
Good. It's with the Wizards fans. It's like, Wizards fans, God, please stop giving us your toughest battles, and he goes, "You're still alive."
So Miami, top destination. Brooklyn also sprinkled in there. Maybe he's going to go to Brooklyn, which by his description is where he wants to go because he doesn't want to play with good players, but he wants decent players.
The report, you heard that Brooklyn turned down the third pick for Mikal Bridges.
Well, that makes sense.
Interesting. So
because if you're Brooklyn, you don't have your own picks. Why are you going to give up the one guy that's competitive for you? You have New York as like a technically free agent draw. Be like, come play for us. We're in New York.
You wouldn't trade Mikal for Scoot?
Not if I'm Brooklyn.
Okay.
Because Brooklyn has to stay competitive. There's no like, okay, let's say Scoot doesn't pan, especially after what Bridges did in the second half of the season with the Nets.
Sure.
If he just say he doesn't pan out, right? Like you can be
I'm not saying I disagree.
Small-ish guard. Yes, he's an athletic freak, but like how great is he going to be? Not the greatest shooter. Like there's all these things you could say about Scoot. Mikal Bridges, long, great defender, is proving to be able to create his own shot. He looks comfortable being the best player on your team. And then you factor in, you don't have your own draft pick. You have to try and build a somewhat competitive team around these guys now, because why would you want to lose? Yep. No reason. So you've got Miami, you've got Brooklyn. Yep. Where else could he go? Maybe the Clippers. Clippers rumored to want to split up Paul George and Kawhi. Now, if you are the Clippers, the Blazers rather,
Paul George.
You have Scoot, you have Anthony Simons, you have Shady and Sharp. That's an okay young core, right? Could be okay to very good. What if you add Paul George to that? Can you compete for a playoff spot right away, depending on Scoot?
With Paul and Dame?
No, get rid of Dame. Swap him for Paul George.
Oh.
Dame can go play with Kawhi.
I haven't heard that angle.
Yeah, Devin and I were texting about it today, and he pitched the Clippers, and I started thinking about it. I was like, well, what can they really give up?
I think
they do want to give up Paul George.
Yeah, that could make. Then you can run Scoot as the full-time one, Simon as the full-time two. I don't hate it. The other side, how desperate are the Clippers for a switch-up? Would they do Anthony Simons?
They have to. The Clippers have to be like 1 to 10 desperate. Here's why. Both their stars are older. They make a ton of money. They're under contract for what? 2 more seasons with a player option?
Yeah.
They have no draft picks. They have to get the most they can out of these guys because they aren't getting anybody else.
Simons and Scoot for Paul George.
You could do that, I guess.
For who? Who says yes? Who says no?
Says yes? The Clippers, maybe. I think Portland does say yes, just because Dame wants the most mid team ever, so they can just fizzle out.
Sure. Would you rather have Ingram or Paul George?
Ingram, I'd say.
Okay.
Just because of I don't know how many games Ingram played last year either, in fairness to what I'm about to say, but neither Paul George or Leonard have played very many games.
45.
Okay, so 45. They're both just hanging out watching games.
Paul George
in that case, I'm probably. But
56.
then what's Ingram's contract?
Let's find out.
Because this more than ever is the time to worry about contract.
31, 33, or excuse me, 33.8 this year, 36 next year, then contract extension time for Ingram.
I'd probably
which
just go
is-
for Paul George.
But then Paul George's contract is
45.
45 this year, 48-7 the year after that, and then contract extension time for Paul
Yeah,
George.
Okay, that after that 48 year, he's not going to ask for that much money, or he's not going to get it. It just won't happen.
The Blazers have given
Paul George is how old?
players others. He's 33.
Okay, so he's going to be 35, and they're going to pay him X amount of dollars when he just watches a bunch of games.
You mean Portland, who's paying Damian Lillard $63 million at 35?
How many games did Dame play when they extended him, though?
When did they extend him?
You have a valid point. Like, small guards aren't the best players to extend as they age.
I don't know when they extended him, but these are his past 4 seasons: 58, 29, 67, 66.
Okay, yeah. So was he played how many games? Oh, 59.
58 this year.
58.
Yes. But I mean, in your defense,
they probably paid him after those years in the 60s.
In your defense, to start his career, 82, 82, 82, 75, 75, 73, 80. So he's got a good track record when he's got a competitive team. So it's fine. I'm not trying to crap on Dame.
That's an interesting scenario. Is Clippers
to
Blazers
transition here? We'll transition here. The one player Dame does want to play with is Mr. Draymond Green, who has
mid-off, but it's understandable. Now go ahead.
Yes, who has been in the news for other reasons. Like you said, Jeremy Grant, Draymond Green, Dame. It'd probably be a play-in team at the very least.
Big three.
Yes. Draymond Green and Jordan Poole unfollowed each other immediately.
Yeah,
after
those
the
guys
trade
don't
went
like each
through.
other.
And don't blame them. Honestly, in hindsight, wild they played an entire season together. Like, kind of.
It is wild. I would
Yeah.
say this spells very good things for Draymond's future with the Warriors. He did opt out of his player option. Who knows what he's going to do financially? Maybe he takes a pay cut. Good guy, Draymond. Probably not.
No, I don't think so. You saw he wants 30 mil, I think is what I saw. Which, in reality, probably not the worst contract. Like, it's not a max. It's far from a max if he wants 30 mil. So I guess it's not that crazy.
Like half a max nowadays.
Yeah, seriously. No, I mean, to compare that to other people who are going to be making 30 mil in X amount of years, like 24, 25, people making 30 mil. Or let's go 25, 26. Let's go 2 years in advance. $30 million players. Julius Randle, CJ McCollum, RJ Barrett making 27. Andrew Wiggins making 28. DeAndre Ayton, 35. Right? Like, so, like, realistically, is Draymond as good of a player as DeAndre Ayton in 2 years? Thoughts?
In 2 years? I think for Draymond, it's really hard to judge. Okay, for the Warriors,
I think that's the important part.
I don't know how much worse Draymond's going to get. It's tough to say too. I don't know. I truly don't. I don't have a good answer for you.
I think if you're the Warriors, you pay Draymond. You have to pay Draymond.
I think Draymond has earned the paycheck from the Warriors. Yes.
Exactly. I think that's the important part.
On the other hand, I can understand why Damian Lillard wants to play with him because him and Curry have similar games. So he's thinking, if Draymond could do this for Curry, what can he do for me?
Exactly. And same goes for the Hawks or the Mavericks because, like, he seems like he's the perfect player to put with a ball dominant guard. So I don't know. Like you said, I think he stays in Golden State, but the fact that he unfollowed Poole and Poole unfollowed him immediately after that, it's amazing. And the fact that people found it so quick, instantaneous.
I guess it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Don't blame him. But the last NBA thing we have to talk about today, Naz Reid got a contract extension, and you might be thinking, Jack, why do I care if Naz Reid got a contract extension? Well, Naz Reid earned a 3-year, $42 million deal. Pretty good value, $14 million a year for Naz Reid. Now, Sam, I'm going to read you a number here. This is what Minnesota is paying their centers next season.
Oh, it's $91 million.
Yes. 41 for Rudy, 36 for Cat, 14 for Naz Reid.
Can we talk about Cat?
They love centers. What about Cat? Hit me.
So you saw Cat went on the Pat Bev pod.
Yes.
And Cat said, like, he's a generational player, whatever. He's changed the game.
Yeah.
Which I can kind of see what he means because, like, he won the 3-point contest. Like,
sure.
3-point shooting is a big part of his game.
One of the best 3-point shooting big men. He is, just objectively.
That I can understand. The real problem that I have with that is apparently he was talking a lot about how impressive it was that they won the play-in or something.
I think it was taken.
That
out of
is the
context a
biggest
little bit.
loser talk I've ever heard.
It was.
There has
It was-
been no moment in my life where I've been like, please, Celtics, stay away from this guy. I mean, obviously, they're not going to get him now. They have Porzingis. Please stay away from this guy. He's a bum and he's going to be bad for your culture than Cat right now.
It was taken a little bit out of context, but the quote was, it was more special what we did in Minnesota because we had like a month and then we had training camp and it was like, you figure it all out right now. And we figured it out quick. They had 4 years. We got it done in 4 months, comparing the Timberwolves play and win
No.
to the
Shut
to the Nuggets NBA.
Cat's a loser.
That is a nuts quote. That's a crazy quote. And then when he said he changed the game, Draymond Green tweeted out, "Hey Pat Bev, when people come on your show, they change the game. I'm looking forward to it." I love Draymond. Yeah, no, Cat's great. Do you hear what Pat Bev said about Cat?
No.
He said Cat is the best offensive player in basketball.
Oh dear.
He said it was Cat or James Harden.
That's even worse. And I like Pat Bev. I was thinking about it
I
be
do
like
too.
Pat Bev Celtic.
Maybe I wouldn't hate it.
He might
I'd
be.
okay with it.
I don't know. I like Pat.
I think Pat Bev Rocket or Pat Bev wherever James.
People
Harden
were
goes.
not happy that Pat Bev was being floated as a Celtic on Twitter today.
I mean,
I think Pat Bev gets a bad rap. I really don't think he's a bad player.
I think
do think he's a little old now.
Sure. I think we appreciate the Draymonds, the Pat Bevs of the world because we know they'd be good in the Celtics. People just dislike them because they're not Celtics, and so they'll be like, "Oh no!"
I mean, this is a fan base like us included that are upset about a Marcus Smart trade. Granted,
Exactly.
Marcus Smart is definitely better than Pat Bev. Probably not as good as Draymond.
I was going to
at
ask
least
you
in
this.
that situation.
I think they're same tier, but I think Draymond better,
I
probably.
mean, Draymond's won championships. Marcus unfortunately didn't. So there's that.
Yeah. He also all-star. So, and I know it's the team, but he's an all-star. Anyways, Naz Reid got extension, and we filtered in some
Naz
Karl-Anthony
Reid
Towns slander.
better or worse than Grant Williams?
Same level, depends on the situation.
Naz Reid, by the way, who I was saying Celtics could trade Peyton Pritchard for, which made sense at the time because they had Cat and Gobert. Then Cat got hurt.
That it did. That
Would have
did,
been kind of fire.
I think Naz Reid, Grant Williams, same level ish. Bet like Naz Reid would be better for a team that needs to score first big. Grant Williams, he's better for a team.
I don't think the
that needs
Naz
a
Reid
3D.
contract's a bad contract either.
Not at all. I think if Grant Williams on the contract, the Celtics should just bring him back. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I'm not really all in on the get rid of Grant unless you're getting something back.
I agree, and I don't think you'll get much back, for what it's worth. But we can move on to the final portion of our programming today, which you know him well. Matt the Rat, welcome into the show.
Would you like
Big
to
old
open?
buddy, old pal. I would love to open because
Yeah,
I
you
was
had a day.
texting. I was texting Sam today. I was as mad as I might have ever
Tweeting
been.
today.
I was so like I was almost crying how mad it was, and that sounds whack, Sam. I cannot physically describe to you how angry I was that this happened. We are playing golf today. My brother and I tee off at 9:52. We tee off a little early because it was open course relatively for the time, and they're like, oh, we can go a little early. Four people go out before us. We are supposed to be paired up with this other random duo. And they go, they talk to the ranger or whatever. And they go, we're going to play by ourselves, guys. You know, we wouldn't want to hold you up. And I made a joke. I'm like, hey, we're not very good either. We would have held you up. Like, haha, shake their hands, whatever. That's fine. We go off. We tee off. Henry and I go. By the second hole, they're already on our ass. We're already right behind us. And we're sitting there like, I mean, of course we're going to be faster. The group in front of us is 4 people. We are 2 people. We are going to play faster. So we're going to have to wait for them to go so we can hit the ball. So get there. 5th tee comes up. 6th tee, comes up. Ranger goes, what tee time are you guys? We're like 9:52. He goes, okay. And we go. We're like, all right, whatever. Get to the 9th fairway. 4 people in front of us are on the green. I can't find my ball. It's in just a deep rough. So I'm looking around for it. We're waiting to hit, blah, blah, blah. They leave the green. We're still looking for my ball. Immediately as they get off the green, Ranger comes up to us. You guys got to hurry up. The guys behind us are talking trash to me. You know, you got to go. It drops a sexist comment in there too. Like, oh, you got a lot of ladies out here. I'm like, dude, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, it's golf.
Yeah, like what are we doing? But he's like, the guys behind me are complaining. You guys can't look for balls, and we're like, brother, they just got off the green. What do you want us to do? So at that point, I'm furious, right? I drop a ball. I just start smacking it. Like I'm not even like settling. I'm just hitting the ball. Just whatever, get out of there. We don't even go in. So after 9 holes, you can go in for the turd. You can get a hot dog. You can use the bathroom. Don't even do that. Just skip. Go. I'm at this point. Henry's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no. I'm seething mad at this point. We're going, whatever. We play. I'm just playing fast golf. I'm just hitting the ball, whatever. Henry's having a good day. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm just going to fucking get my shots over with. I'm playing like crap anyways. We'll let Henry take his time. So we're going, whatever. By the time we get to the fairway on the 10th hole, the guys are still on the green in front of us. So like we're right on their ass. Like we can't do anything. And we're playing. We get to the 12th tee and we literally meet the guys in front of us at the tee box because we're just with them because we've caught up to them. And so I go up to them. I'm like, hey guys, sorry. I don't want you to think we're trying to rush you. The guys behind us just apparently complained to the ranger. So I'm basically telling them like, I'm swinging mad and I don't want to feel like you guys to think we're on your ass where I'm just mad. Right. And so talk to them. They're like, haha, that's funny. Yeah, no problem. We're good. No worries. Get to the 13th tee. Again, we're sitting there waiting. We hit the ball a little further than the guys behind us because, we're 20, they're 60. Also, the only reason they said anything is because we're younger, right? If we were 60, they wouldn't have said shit, right? Because that's how old assholes
Well,
were.
yeah, you guys clearly don't respect the game.
Exactly. So we get to the 12th tee or 13th tee, excuse me. These guys in front of us are still like in the middle of the fairway. And so the guys behind us start driving up ready. And so at that point, I'm just like, Henry, we're letting these guys go. I don't care. And so we just let them play through. We just let them hit. We're like, just go in front of us. I don't care anymore. Just go. Right. And they're like, oh, thanks, guys. And dickheads. So we let them go through whatever. The women who are behind us catch us at that point because the guys in front of us, Sam, we let them go through and they hit 2 balls off the tee. They like missed their first one, so they hit a second one. I'm like, you guys are complaining to us about playing slow, and then you're gonna hit twice. Rat behavior. And then the ladies behind us, I was like saying, sorry, yeah, we should let them go through, and they're like, just play ready golf, it's fine. And the ladies behind us are very nice, but the 2 guys in front of us, we catch them on every hole. Like every hole they play, we are waiting on them now at this point. So like there was no point in them complaining because now it's just us waiting. So they complained for no reason. The only reason that it happened is because they didn't want to play with us. So instead of a group of 4 and a group of 4, it was 2 groups of 2. So of course we're going to catch up and play faster. Ultimate rats. We know the people who won the golf course. We're not going to say anything, but I saw them waiting in the pro shop when we left. So if they say anything about us, they're getting canned. I'm pulling a Karen. That's how mad I was. I'm
Good job.
Maybe the biggest rat of the calendar year so far. That I've never I don't know the last time I've been that angry. So
You should have drilled them with a golf
rats. I was tempted because we were waiting every time anyways because they were terrible. Oh, disaster day. Sorry, your turn. Rat list. Hit me.
Rat list, the DC regional air traffic control.
Oh, yes.
DC air traffic control yesterday, if you did not know, somehow managed to set their air traffic control center on fire right as we were about to take off.
I didn't know this is what happened.
So we are backed out
Wow.
taxiing out, ready to take off.
Yeah.
And then we have to sit there. They say it might be an hour. They don't know what happened. Something happened with air traffic control. Then we have to go back to the gate. This is a multiple rat story. First rat, air traffic control center for somehow catching on fire. Yes, I checked. Nobody died. I can say what I want. No casualties.
I was going to say, how big was the fire? No idea.
Must have been pretty big. They had to evacuate, and then they had to file back in. Okay.
Evacuate the plane?
The air traffic control building, which monitors multiple airports. So it was Reagan Airport, and then Baltimore. I don't know what the WI, something international, and then the other DC airport. All of them, flights grounded. No flights could land. Flights had to divert. They had to go to other airports because of this fire. Okay. Now, pilot comes on again. We're going back to the gate. Could be at least an hour and a half. Whatever. You guys can get off the plane, cannot get off. So this is a semi-Southwest rat list. Okay? Allowing people to get off the plane. Here's why. 2 things. 1, you can't trust people. 2, when
They
the
let you get
door
off?
opens. Yes. When the door opens on the plane, the flight crew stops getting paid.
Ooh.
So they are not getting paid, but they are sitting on the ground with us. So kind of rat move.
Yes.
Third rat list. The people that got off the plane. Rat list. Because once we finally got cleared, we had to wait for them to get back on the plane. Not everybody stayed near the gate like they were supposed to.
Yep.
And we were waiting for 2 people at one point, and it had been a while. I was like, just leave them.
Tough. Yeah, that's a disaster.
Leave them. See you later. I was hoping they would cancel the flight. Because it was like, I either wanted it to be a minor delay or cancel the flight. I don't want to waste my whole evening there.
How long was the whole delay? In total?
3 hours.
Ooh.
We took off 3 hours later than we were supposed to.
See, a 3-hour delay isn't bad if you like if it's on the board and it's like 3 hours, but the fact that you were on the plane already
dude, my
and then
ass
it was
hurt.
3 hours. Yeah, that was bad. Did you sit in the seat the whole time? You're just like chilling? Ooh, yeah.
We did have a squad though. It was me and this other like young guy next to me, and then this guy next to him. He was a savage because he was listening to the air traffic control stuff. Like he was about it. Like he knew it was going down. Guy in front of us was in on it too. So we kind of had like a little other fourth rat list. Guy on the left of me and this woman in front of him just talking the whole time.
The whole flight?
The whole time we were sitting there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the problem was I couldn't put my AirPods in. You could be like, Sam, put your headphones in. Who cares? Shut up. I can't because I have to figure out what's going on. I have to listen to the announcements.
Okay.
Disaster. Back to you.
What were they talking about for 3 hours? Small talk.
Knows,
Small talk's the worst.
One tidbit I remember.
Mm-hmm.
We're an indoor house. My kid's gonna play esports. We don't do sports. I was like, what?
Hey, man, I love video games.
You can like video games, but like, yeah, my kids, the only like activity he's gonna do is video games. What?
The phrase, we're an indoor house.
Yeah. It was like, we're not sitting on the soccer field. I was like, what is happening?
I'm an indoor guy, right? My new golf kick has gotten me outside, which is very nice. And it was hot today. Ratless the sun. I was sweating. But
you're more susceptible to the sun than most, I would say.
This is true. I do tan though. It's not necessarily a burn, which is nice. We are an indoor house is an all-timer, man. That is amazing. Wow.
It was something along that line. I'm not sure if it was exactly that, but it was pretty close.
Rat list, CVS. I get done with my round of golf. Get done with my round of golf. Obviously upset. Rat list, CVS. We go to pick up Henry's medicine because he gets sleepy. But we get there. CVS will be back from their lunch break at 2 p.m. It is 1:36. And it's the worst. Like if I go home,
you got to stagger the lunch breaks.
Do you know what I'm saying? So my brother Henry and I, we went to Wendy's. We got that. We got my mom a coffee. Duncan came back, sat in the parking lot for 5 minutes. It was fine, but just like it was the awkward. Like if it was an hour, I could have gone home, showered, gone back out. 20 minutes. We were 10 minutes away from our house. Less than 10. It was very annoying, especially after I was already mad at the rats on the golf course. Ratless myself, I shot a 9 on a par 3 today.
Is that rat list or is that like 3 blind mice list?
I'm just terrible. I mean, it's just bad. I as my dad would say, which Henry reminded me, I was terrifying the green. I had the green quaking in its boots, which means I was hitting it everywhere around the green except the green. We need to go golfing, Sam. I know you are golfing relatively soon, but I'm gonna make you go with me one of these times, and we're gonna have an okay time. I'm not promising you a good time, but I'll promise you an okay
time. Rat list 1 obligatory. My internet, it was shit. Jack's internet too was shit today.
My internet was it's still rat list. It's still bad.
We both had a rat list day with the internet. Other rat list, Dame. We talked about this already, but I'm so sick of the Dame stuff. Shit or get off the pot. You either want to be there or you don't.
What was that phrase?
You never heard people say that? Shit or get off the pot?
The reason I'm laughing is because I use the phrase shitter a lot.
Oh,
not
shit or shitter as in like you suck.
Yeah. Like Rocket League, that is my go-to insult. Whenever I'm playing Rocket League with the boys, we're doing 1v1s. It's just shitter, get fucked. Like, yeah, you bad. So I thought you said shitter, get off the pot, and I was like, interesting turn of phrase there. But yeah,
no.
Yeah, Dame's got to end.
I'm out on Dame.
Yeah. It's
because it feels like Dame now just doesn't want the pressure of trying to be on a good team.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't want to suck either.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be on a fun team, and if they overachieve, then he rules.
Yes, I agree with you. Rat list, the speed bump coming out of the golf course. Speed bumps deserve to be on the rat list regardless. Speed bumps are terrible, right? Agree? Speed bump's bad.
Yeah.
The speed bump coming out of the golf course is broken. So your tire gets stuck on the speed bump while the other tire is up on the speed bump. It's a mess. It's terrible. I hate it every time because usually speed bumps, you can just cruise over it. It's whatever. If you cruise over this, your tire's getting popped. It's very annoying. And that's a very niche, just pissed me off. I was just in a bad mood today and everything was getting me angry. Rat list, the road work outside of my house. They're paving the road outside my house. The guys were nice. I had to go out and say, like, should I move my car? We have to leave in like an hour. And they're like, no, you're fine. But my dogs are afraid of anything and everything, and they will bark at anything and everything. So the fact that there's about 15 random people outside my house, I'm shocked they haven't barked during this podcast. They're not out there right now. But
not something that should be done when the sun's out. Gotta say it.
Started at 7 this morning.
Well, the sun was out.
It's
different in a residential neighborhood because you kind of can't do it in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime they're on a main road, it's like, why is this happening when I'm on the road? It should be when I'm sleeping.
Yep.
That's my take. One? I stand by it. Won't ever back off. Rat list, this restaurant we went to in DC.
Yeah.
So it was me, Kayla, my girlfriend, and her roommate, Shani. We went to a restaurant.
I think, have you told us?
No.
Is this different? No. Okay. Different than the bathroom.
This happened on Sunday, so we have not.
Okay.
So we go to this restaurant. We sit outside. It's kind of busy. They bring us warm water.
Yep.
Okay. Whatever. Right. We order.
I'm sorry. I looked at my phone. Warm water?
Yeah. Like they bring you a pitcher of water. You pour your own glasses.
Intentionally warm water.
Not on purpose. It just wasn't cold.
But they didn't give you ice?
No.
Terrible. Okay, sorry. I that like went right over my head. That's terrible.
Second thing, breakfast place, no pancakes. Bad. I think I've talked about this before. Any kind of like place you're going to get breakfast and there's not pancakes. What kind of restaurant are you?
Hear me out here. French toast top, pancakes middle, waffles.
No.
So far
French toast bottom.
No,
Don't
waffles
care
are
French
awful.
Toast mid.
We've talked about this before. Sorry, French toast is the best.
Okay, anyway. No pancakes. Second thing.
Yeah.
Then, I don't believe I had an issue with my order.
What'd you get?
Ordered a side of. I got an omelet. It comes with
Solid.
like these like spinach sleeves, and then I ordered a side of the potatoes. They did not bring my potatoes.
Oh.
My girlfriend asked for like something not in her food, and they put it in.
Of course.
So she had to send it back. They bring it back out cold, sends it back again.
Yep.
And then by that time, she's just tuckered out.
Yeah.
Then I get shit on. A
By
bird
who?
shits on my shoulder.
Oh, literally shit.
I literally got shit on.
I thought when you said I got shit on, I thought you were like, I got yelled at. No, you literally got pooped on. Wow.
In the tables, the tables were like,
yeah,
tables that were like, it's like a bar and a space and a bar, like there's gaps on the top of the table.
Yeah,
I don't know how to describe it to you. It's like
out on eating outside. Awful.
It's fine sometimes.
There's too much variance.
Yeah, the table is made up of like pieces of wood with a gap. The chairs are made the same way. The chairs are uncomfortable. The tables, you're very high risk of spilling whatever you have.
Yep, you got to have a booth. Indoor booth. That's always the play. It's just the best places in a restaurant.
I asked for stevia with my coffee. I didn't get it. We had to get up and get our own stuff. We had to get up and refill the water.
Tough. What?
Just rat list.
Yeah, that's whack. That's whack. At least it's not a restaurant. Some restaurants now include the tip in the price. Like they lump it on there and say, "Here, we included the tip for you," and it's just part of the thing. And extra rat list.
If you go to Europe, it's like that everywhere.
I know, but I forget who this with. They also leave a line to leave another tip. They
That's a
leave an
curve.
option. They leave an option. And I remember, I forget who I was talking to, but they were like, yeah, I left a really nice tip because they were great. But then I ended up like, it was like triple my bill because I didn't know they already added the tip.
Yeah.
So like low key rat list.
There's a curb where Larry, like, they give
Okay,
him the check
yes.
and it's like additional tip. And he's like, do people fill this out? And like, they won't give him an answer. So I think he leaves it. I don't know what the consequence is. Like, either he doesn't tip the guy and he can't get out of a parking spot because it's double parked and that guy needs to move the car.
Yeah.
Or it's he leaves his phone at the restaurant and the waiter finds it and he has some information on the phone. Like, is it manager's cheating on the manager's wife or something like that he's not supposed to share? And the guy would have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. I don't remember which one.
Good. Final rat list for me, my dogs. I woke up at 7 this morning. Early, big for Jack. That's a lot.
That is early for you. Yeah.
I was planning on going back to sleep again till 8 because we were gonna leave it at like 8:30. My dogs, when the door opens, they come in, they get in bed. They get in my bed. They're nice. I love them, but the way they do it is one of my dogs is on this side and the other side is on this side of my legs. And you know when your parents tuck you in when you're a kid and like,
you can't move.
It was like that. I had like the tiniest little leg space, and at that point, I just couldn't get back to sleep because I couldn't move. And so I was like, all right, guys, I guess I'm waking up at 7:15 this morning. I will say new breakfast for me, peanut butter toast with bananas on it. That's my new go-to breakfast. Very good. Anyways, that's all I got for Atlas. You got anything else? Shall we wrap?
I think that's it for me. Yeah, I don't think any ratless stuff else happened to me.
Long ratless today. 20-minute ratless today. We were mad. We were angry.
Good for the listeners.
Yes, very angry at us, but appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you very much as we bring bright colors back on the screen.
As hell.
It's a lot. It's a very vibrant green. It doesn't seem vibrant when we start the show, but by the time we run it back, it is there. But subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We've had some kind of insane growth over the past week, so we appreciate you guys very much for that.
Can't wait for 5 people to watch this.
I think we're having a guest later on this week. No promises, but that is the goal, to bring somebody in.
But we lost a sub.
Did we?
We did.
We're up there. We're up above 590. 591 now. 592.
Yeah, 591.
591. Subscribe to the channel. Leave us 5 stars on the platforms. Leave us a comment on YouTube. That's my favorite part of it all. And thank you very much. I'll let Sam take us home.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Don't unsubscribe. Don't do that. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you don't miss any daily uploads this summer. Leave a like, leave comments. We love the comments, like Jack said. On top of that, you can listen to us on the streaming services, Apple, Spotify. You can follow us there. Leave a 5-star review. Help us out with whatever their algorithm may be. Socials, at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can follow Jack Simone at Jack Simone NBA. And you can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.